Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. I hope all of you are doing well on this bright and fine morning where we woke up to news, basically. Things are kicking off, it seems, left, right and centre, and we've got the one person that we've not actually heard from yet properly in relation to all of what's going on. I'm about to show you. But go and check out the videos from last night, make sure you're there. Have a look right here if you haven't done so already. Subscribe, notification bell on. There'll be a second upload later tonight, so make sure you guys are here for that. And we'll see what else transpires from now all the way up until later. We'll see what the day holds. But this morning, we've already got enough to go through a whole video. So, we're starting off with, I want to say the big elephant in the room when it comes to the journalists, right? And it comes to the people that bring out the news. Well, David Ornstein. David Ornstein is the guy that we've not heard from yet throughout this entire saga, and now we've got it. Now we've got David Ornstein telling us, and I quote, Chelsea closing in on a deal to sign Jorrel Hato from, let me take that back. Hato? Hato? Is it Hato? Or is it Hato? Or is it Hato? Apparently it's not Hato according to all of you in the comments. I actually need to go and check and look at the pronunciation or something. You guys might need to bear with me on that one, and I will let you know later on in video number 2 how his name is pronounced, but I'm guessing it's Hato? I think. But anyway, Hato from Ajax, agreement between Chelsea Ajax yet to be reached, but getting nearer. Compromise expected in the coming days on price above 40 million euros. Personal terms are in place for 19-year-old Netherlands defender. And that was done 4 days ago. I told you guys in terms of Hato's personal terms being a done deal. Now it's a case of getting the deal done once and for all. And I think we're close, man. Look, when you get David Ornstein now popping up with this sort of stuff, there's been one case this window where he has said something is done and then it wasn't. And that was Morgan Gibbs-White. From Forest to Tottenham, we got that confirmation. And he's just signed a new deal at Forest. So, but that's Tottenham. What can I say? That's the history of the Tottenham. If there's a football club where that would be possible, it's Tottenham. So, that's the one time I don't anticipate the same thing to happen, and we know that unlike Gibbs-White, who was happy to sign a new deal at Nottingham Forest, we have Hato, who is wanting to move. He didn't go with Ajax, I think, to the pre-season game because he is waiting for his move. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. This boy is about to become a Chelsea player. No doubts. So, Hato, deal about to be done. We wait. Next coming days. Maybe we get a full agreement and we get the big reveal and we get the done deal and the here we goes and the bombers and the daggers and all the flipping artifacts flying in the air. We'll see what goes down. But that's the latest on Jorrel Hato. On top of that, and another player. Now, some of you are going to be like, no, but Younes, this one's recycled. This is recycling, yeah? This is pure recycling. And you know what? I agree it is. I agree it is. Fabrizio, here it is. Chelsea maintain total confidence to sign both Jorrel Hato and Xavi Simons. Negotiations continue this week with Ajax after total agreement with Hato last week, deal close. Xavi Simons wants Chelsea and talks with RB Leipzig on the fee and structure of the deal are ongoing. It's like what we heard yesterday, and it is what we heard the day before. Technically, it is. But he's saying it. It's happening. One thing you can't doubt is that Chelsea are fully in for Xavi Simons, and it seems like a deal is basically on the brink of happening too. Just like Hato, he has quoted Hato and Simons in the same tweet. Just like Hato is super advanced, I think Simons is super advanced. And look, I wouldn't be surprised, I wouldn't be shocked if Chelsea decide to do a double unveiling. Do you remember when I told you guys the whole double Dutch thing? We don't need to go into that again. But we might get a double Dutch unveiling. I think, is it the first time that two players are unveiled in the same in the same breath, in the same video, in the same announcement? Maybe? Maybe. Can you imagine a video where like Hato and Simons are like coming together or something and they're in Chelsea blue? Or I don't know. Maybe Chelsea might actually do that. Maybe instead of doing one of each, I think maybe we just do a double. You never know. And that would work. That would work pretty well. Double Dutch. As simple as that. So let me know your thoughts on that one, but don't panic. It's like I said yesterday, these deals sometimes take time. People get frustrated, I think, with Fabrizio just saying the same thing over and over and over again, and I get that. At the same time, there is a little bit of, I want to say, reassurance that, oh, it's not just gone totally dead, like things are happening. This is basically just a thing to let you guys know, no, just, things are still ongoing. Yeah, chill. So chill. It's fine. Don't worry. It's going to happen. So that's the latest on Hato and Simons. Let me know your thoughts down below. I want to get into... oh, and Ben Jacobs said the same thing as well, by the way. I forgot that. Hato agreed terms with Chelsea, and now it's all about a club-to-club agreement in the region of around 40 million. So fair enough. Nicholas Jackson. Newcastle, I don't get you. I don't get you, man. It looks like Newcastle are in a point now where they're like, what can we get? We are desperate. Just give us whatever, yeah? And I get that, to be fair, but to an extent. But at one point we're hearing, okay, they're in talks for Sesko. That's looking like that could be a possibility. And now we're getting this, and I'm all for it. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for it. Listen, Newcastle, welcome to the conversation, like I said. But the latest we're getting is there has already been preliminary contact made on Jackson by Newcastle, but Chelsea are quoting terms of £80 million. Sources believe Newcastle's valuation is closer to 65 million. Do you remember before, this was like last week, I think, where I told you guys, I totally agreed with what Chelsea were doing. Some were like, look, this is stupid. Jackson's not an 80 or 100 million pound player. What are we doing? We know. We know he's not. That's not the point. The point is, other clubs are quoting other strikers of similar levels for that fee. So Chelsea are absolutely within their right to go, you know what, that player's gone for that price, that player's gone for that price. Cool, Jackson's 80 to 100 then. And what has that done? That's made Newcastle go, no, but our valuation is close to 65. How is it that, who is it, I forgot who said this quote. Was it Jose? Or was it Eden Hazard? Or someone? But he went, in the pocket. Yeah? Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. That's basically it. Newcastle are valuing Jackson at 65. That's his valuation. Close, anyway. That's what we're looking for. You know, listen, bite it, take it, and run. Yeah, simple as that. If that has allowed Newcastle to value him at 65, then you know what? I reckon we can get 70. Now, if you're telling me that we can sell Jackson and get 70 million for him, are you taking that or not? Considering we've got João Pedro and we've got Liam Delap, are you taking that or not? I am, instantly. I'll drive him to the airport. I'll make him a packed lunch. You know, what does he need? Premium economy? Does he need premium economy, or does he need you know, VIP lounge? Let me know. We'll throw it in. We'll throw it in. Whatever's needed. Yeah. Extra baggage. You know, extra luggage allowance. We'll do it all. We'll do it all. 65 million for Jackson. Like I said, if that's their valuation, we don't just accept. Bump it up a little bit. Let's meet in the middle. Yeah, somewhere between 65 and 80. Around 70 plus an add-on. I am totally on board with that. Totally on board. So this is why I was in favour of quoting that in the first place, because that's what ends up happening. 65 million from Newcastle. Listen, I would do it. Now, I gotta be honest, I don't think Newcastle are going to spend 70 on Sesko, 65 or 70 on Jackson after letting go of Isak. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be one or the other. I don't think they'll go for both. But we'll see. We'll see. I think it will be easier for them to get Jackson than it would be to get Sesko, because for Sesko they do face competition, and that competition comes from Manchester United. Florian Plettenberg has told us this morning that Man United and Newcastle are currently in talks with Benjamin Sesko's management. Both teams have presented their projects and financial offers. The decision now lies mainly with the player and his camp. Offers are expected to be formally submitted to RB Leipzig following the verbal agreement. However, Newcastle are pushing a lot. Man United seem like they're really on it for Sesko. And they kind of have to, because they've completely misjudged the entire striker market, and they're kind of lucky that they have a Sesko to fall back on, if we're being completely honest. Yeah, I think they could do worse. They could have done a lot better though prior, but they missed the boat. While everyone else got their strikers, United were chilling. They look like they're pushing. Newcastle face competition, but for Jackson, who's the competition? Fulham? You interested? Fulham? Anyone else? You know, there isn't much. So even from abroad, we heard about AC Milan and all this, and that's just gone cold. Nothing really happened there. So I think for Newcastle, it'll be one or the other. The easier deal would be Jackson. If they just pay up, they'll have him, no problem. And then Man United will get Sesko, and I think everyone will be happy that way. So let's see. Or another situation, whoever doesn't get Sesko will then turn to Jackson as a plan B. And at that point, we milk it. If teams are considering Jackson as a plan B, then cool, no problem. But you're in a position now where you need a striker, because you know that you've left yourself without any choice. Well, now we're going to be asking for 80 million. It's not 70 anymore. No, there's a premium to pay now. 80, and he's yours. And then there you can maybe meet in the middle, 75, 77. We can milk this. We can absolutely milk this. So let's wait and see what goes down. But that's the latest overall. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. I will be here later on tonight for video number 2. So make sure you guys are there. We'll see what else transpires from now until later. Let me know your thoughts on everything. And I do want to add, I saw all of your comments, and I'll be honest, I have not been watching. But Nigeria women won the Africa Cup of Nations after beating Morocco 3-2 in the final. I'll be honest, that's a competition I have not been paying attention to too much. I saw little bits and pieces from like the group stage, and then I've just not been on it. With England, I kind of flew into it. I arrived here, and then there's talk of the final. There's a big screen and whatnot. I went to the big screen. I saw the first half. I managed to catch up with the second half and all of that. Like, I saw what went down. So I mentioned it. But with Nigeria, congratulations. Apparently it's a 10th record title. Mad. I mean, that's actually wild. We're talking about England winning the Euros for the second time. Nigeria have won the Africa Cup of Nations 10 times. Flipping hell. Anyway, congrats to the Nigerians up in here. Much appreciated. Enjoy your celebrations. And look, just like I've said for England yesterday, that the men need to step up. Well, Nigeria, your men need to step up too now. Your men need to step up. Yeah, your women are setting the standard too. Your men need to up the game. Just saying. Let's wait and see what happens. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. Subscribe, notification bell on. I will catch all of you later tonight. So see you lot later on. Take care and peace.